Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.
Pause up, pet pals. Welcome to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Today, we're going to go to the dogs with a pair of the world's best canine experts. Now, that's something to woof about. First up, I am honored and delighted to welcome to our show a leading authority on all things DOG. She is a certified veterinary behaviorist. She operates the Florida Veterinary Behavior Service Center. It's based in West Palm Beach. And she's a best-selling author and pretty cool person. Please give pause and applause to Dr. Lisa Radosta. Welcome to the show, Dr. Lisa.
Thank you. It's nice to see you again.
It is. I'm in Ard's den with my cat, who's grooming himself behind me for all you YouTube viewers. Kona, Case, Emma, you guys want to pop your heads up? There they are. They say hi to you too. So, Dr. Lisa, there's a lot of things that confound us as to why dogs do what they do. But for today's show, I want to focus on two quirky canine behaviors, and I'm so happy you can help us solve the mysteries. I mean, first of all, why do dogs shake? Are they like trying to channel their inner Elvis? I don't know. And why do some dogs seem to just revel in gutting those stuffed toys right after you vacuum the living room rug? So are you ready for some fun, folks? The expert is in the house. So let's get into it, because you are a veterinarian and you're certified in behavior. So that means you can help us with the medical and the behavior reasons. I mean, sometimes dogs shake, but there's a lot of medical and behavior reasons, right? So help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you look at shaking, you want to think two veins. You want to think either fear, anxiety, stress, phobia, panic, right? Or you want to think neurologic, pain, right? Pain can be anything. Pain can be gastrointestinal pain. Pain can be orthopedic pain. So there's a lot of different reasons. So we're going to call shaking or trembling
that's
a non-specific sign, right? So non-specific is just what it sounds like, but that's a medical term for, we don't know. Could be anything.
But it's fancy pants. You did it in a fancy pants way. Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's also the shakes where dogs are just so overly excited. I mean, Kona sometimes, I don't know if she just lost all her bones in her body because it's all rubbery and she's gleeful.
Yeah. And so you bring up a good point. How are we going to distinguish between excitement, fear, anxiety, stress, phobia, panic, and pain? All right. So excitement, you described it. She's a noodle. She has no bones, right?
Yeah, she is a noodle.
Just, so relaxed. And so you're looking at a dog who is relaxed. Rather, her muscles are relaxed, right?
Okay.
Now, fear, anxiety, stress, phobia, panic, tension. That's muscle tension. And you're probably going to see other body language cues that fit. So ears back, tail down, lowered body, hiding, moving away, crying, whether it's barking or whining, right? You're going to see those signs that fit. Pain's hard because dogs can't just say, I feel sick to my stomach. Okay. So you're going to see some muscular tension. You're going to see some signs that really fit with fear, anxiety, and stress, even when your dog is painful. But what you'll see probably additionally is that your dog doesn't move around very much.
Wow.
Okay. So you can see I can get confused, right? I have a dog who's trembling and hiding. Okay. Well,
you're kind of put on your canine Sherlock Holmes hat, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. You're like, I heard on Arden's podcast that we should be thinking fear, but then you think, well, wait a second. Is my dog hiding or is he in the corner because he can't move because his legs hurt? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, assume pain.
I like that because pain is a 4-letter word we never want to happen to our pets.
Exactly. Pain is worse than the F-bomb. You do not want it. Okay.
Good thing you said it that way because we have some rules on radio, but very nicely done, very tactful. So yeah, and also you may be petting or giving your dog a belly rub, which you always do. That's what they do, right? They do a little snap at you, right?
Right. Well, that is for various reasons. First of all, they could hurt.
Yeah.
I'm always going to go back to pain. And
I like
so
that.
often I sit with clients and they say, but he's not crying out. He's not limping. And I say, hold on, look at my face. Am I in pain? Well, how would I know that? Well, right. I am in pain. I'm 52. My hip hurts a lot of the time. Okay. But you don't know. So I don't have to be screaming to be in pain or be enduring pain. Okay. So that's kind of one thing that we want to always think about is that. Number two, you know as well as I do that belly rubs to people don't mean the same thing as belly rubs in a dog's mind. Okay. So two dogs, a baby, 8-week-old puppy, a belly rub is not a pleasurable thing.
Okay.
It is when a dog rolls over onto his back, he's saying, stop. There's a big, huge stop sign on his chest. And you will watch other dogs play and you'll see the other dog will sniff a little bit, be like, all right, man, I gotcha. I'm going to walk away if it's normal play. Now, dogs learn to like belly rubs because it feels good, but some dogs never learn to like them.
I like that.
So you want to be careful with the belly rubs. You want to look at the body, noodle, relaxed. That usually, not always, but most of the time is a dog who's enjoying that. Big, 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 big tail wag, enjoyment. Super fast, little tail wag, nervous. Body tense, or just the back of the body showing the belly, but the front is closed. That's a do not pet. So always use caution, even with your own pet when doing a belly rub.
And I think when you're talking about the shaking, the belly rubs, it almost like we humans need to start looking like and acting like pet detectives and don't just assume things. And I mean, I teach pet first aid and I'm always teaching people to be a pet detective. Look for the signs, report to your veterinarian, specifics, what you see, hear, smell, safely touch. But I'm asking you because we love our pets and we sometimes get into a habit of just taking them for granted and saying, hey, yeah, they're just cool. But they're sentient beings with a whole array of emotions like us. So is there some tips that you could help us maybe look at our dog in a better way?
Yeah. So the first thing I want you to do is assume that your dog speaks another language. They're loved like family, but they don't speak our language. So as soon as you start viewing them as a person or a being that can't communicate with you well, you will slow down. Okay. And you'll start to observe more. Number two, know your body language. On our website, flvetbehavior.com, we have body language pages for dogs and cats. And we have links to other sites with great body language resources for you. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook because we put up body language on a regular basis.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we get all those links in. And I'm telling you guys, her website rocks. It's got great information. And so looking at body language, I don't know if do you think the people are finally starting to connect the dots that this is a visitor from Dogtopia and you have to speak to them in a clear, concise, consistent manner?
Yeah, no, people aren't getting it. And I know that you know this, Arden, but I'm going to share it with your listeners and your viewers. The most likely person to be bitten, aside from a child in your home, most likely stranger to be bitten is a person who says, don't worry, I'm a dog person. Oh. Those people are the most inappropriate people with dogs. And if we look to the literature, which I love to talk about the literature and research, we know that pet parents, even experienced ones, are not very good at identifying fear and fear that leads to aggressive responses. Okay, so we know that our pet parents, even experienced ones, aren't good at it. That's why we need people to educate themselves on body language. You will be shocked once you start really standing back and looking at your dog. I'm going to give you one fun thing you can do.
Well, we're going to do that right after our break because we want to tease our folks to stay tuned. So we're going to take a brief break, talk with our sponsor, and then we're going to come back and she's going to give us the scoop on fear. So sit, stay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're talking with Dr. Lisa Radosta. She is the head of the Florida Veterinary Behavior Service. It's based in West Palm Beach. It's a great place. And she also is the co-author of a breakthrough, major, game-changing book. It's called From Fearful to Fear-Free. She wrote this with some of her associates from the land of fear-free pets, which I want you all to go to after the show, fearfreepets.com and FLVET behavior.com. Did I do it right?
That's right. Perfect.
Okay. So you teased us a little bit. So let's get into, I'm a dog person. Yeah, I kind of cringe when somebody says either two statements. I'm a dog person, or I like dogs better than people. And I'm like, well, I kind of still like people. So take it away.
So here is my quick way for you to start to understand your dog's body language. Okay. I want you to do a consent test, and you can search on YouTube or Google consent test dog, and you'll probably get some good videos that show you how to do it. But this is it in a nutshell. Cool. I'm sitting at my office chair. My dog walks up. I put my hand out. Okay. I'm not in his face. I just put it up, right? And he comes over and nudges it. I'm going to pet for a limited number of pets or a limited number of time. I'm going to do pets because it's easier for me. Okay. 5 pets. I'm going to pet 5 times. Then I'm going to stop and leave my hand available to him. If he walks away, he didn't want more petting.
Good idea. Yeah.
If he nudges me, he wants more.
How'd you say that? I love that word. Say it again.
Nudge.
Nudges. I love how you say it. Nudges.
Here's the thing. I sat with a client the other day. It was her, and I'd known her and her dog for like 8 years. Now he's an old man, and there's a new man in the family who wants to have a great relationship with this dog. And I said, do a consent test. And he said, no, he likes it. I pet his head, then I pet his shoulders, then I pet his belly. I'm like, no, consent is per body part. Okay. I'm going to do 5 pets on the head. I'm going to pull my hand away, but leave it available. My dog, Maverick, is going to nudge it. And then maybe he moves his shoulders under my hand. You know how dogs do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pet the shoulders. Consent to pet the head is not consent to touch the tummy. 2 different consents. I love this.
You got to get a lineup of T-shirts, consent to pet. There you go. I just gave you a whole marketing idea.
I'm a woman. I'm not wearing a T-shirt that says consent to pet.
Sorry, have a big dog picture or something, please. I'm sorry. Yeah,
that would end up in a lot of men with black eyes.
The Me Too meets Pet to Me movement. I know. All right. Well, moving on, because I did promise our great loyal audience that the great Dr. Lisa Radosta is going to also talk about that fun, quirky behavior of gutting toys. Now, I have a stash of toys, and I have Kona and Emma. And I am so happy because they're finally gently playing tug with each other, because one's 35 pounds, one's not even 9 pounds. I'm so embarrassed. Never had such a tiny dog. My last dog was 90 pounds. But I look at the living room, I turn my back, and it's like litter everywhere. What is going on with gutting toys with dogs that are indoors? They're part of the family.
Yeah, so that's normal behavior. What you guys want to think about is, where did these behaviors come from evolutionarily? Play comes from predation. Okay, think of it that way. Part of what you're seeing your dog do is be a predator, sort of. And he's going in for the kill. He's tearing that toy up. Another thing is that it's fun for the dog. So forget predation. It's just plain fun, and it's normal. And some of the best advice I can give any pet parent is to accept your dog for who he is. And the reason I'm going there, even though you asked me about tearing up toys, is because I meet a lot of pet parents. What they'll say to me is, I can't give my dog toys. He tears them up. And I'm like, what the what? Are you in crazy town?
Yeah.
No. If he tears up toys, you have to give him more toys.
Yes, that's why I keep a stash. And I have a good vacuum cleaner.
Right. So a long time ago, I was listening to Oprah, and she said, if someone tells you who they are, you should listen. And I think that's good advice. Your dog is telling you who he is. He likes to destroy stuff. So find stuff he can destroy. Now, I hear you already. I hear people thinking, well, this isn't safe. Okay. Right. I agree.
Well, I do it supervised.
Right.
I don't do it when I don't hand him a stuffed toy and walk out the door. I do teach pet first aid. I do want to keep them safe. I do it when it's a supervised play.
Right. Exactly. Supervised play, things your dog can't ingest. I get a lot of questions about like, what are the toys for Rottweilers? What are the toys for pit bulls, etc. I don't have a toy that a Rottweiler, I had them for 20 years. I don't have a toy that they can't destroy. You got to watch your pets.
And I think in a way, let's do this, Dr. Lisa. You get to watch them. You don't have to pay admission ticket. You can turn off Netflix. You actually get to engage with your pet and enjoy and be in the present moment, which we all need.
Yeah, that's hard for us, especially I feel like these past 2 years, we all wanted to work at home. But what I'll tell you about working at home is that the work never stops. Yeah. You can't like escape that space. And so, making yourself be present, I think is really important. Yes.
I think people also deserve to know a little bit about you, Dr. Lisa. What made you specialize in behavior? And tell people a little bit about your center you have based in West Palm. You're really helping save lives by educating us two-leggers on why dogs and cats do what they do.
Well, so I'm a board-certified veterinary behaviorist, a veterinary psychiatrist, and I do this because I love it. Like I really love it. I live it. And what we do as board-certified vet behaviorists is we see cats and dogs and bunnies and birds and turtles that have serious behavior problems and need a full assessment, like looking at the physical health, the emotional health, the whole picture.
There's not a lot of veterinary behaviorists that are certified. They're board certified by the AVMA. So, I mean, how many could it fill a bus?
Well, yeah, we could fill a school bus.
Okay.
We have about, I think 91 now.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot, right? It's not a lot, but with the advent of the use of telehealth, we are really accessible. So I don't want people, you know me so well. You know, my message is always there's help, there's help, there's help.
Right.
And I think there's going to be glass half empty people who are going to say, but the nearest vet behaviorist is 3 hours away. Right. But there's telehealth now. Yes. There's options. You are never any more than a Zoom call from help. Really.
And I like that because you are kind of one of the leading edge veterinarians that embrace telehealth. And during COVID, I think you were able to show people it works.
It works. Yeah. And, is it as good as sitting in a exam room with me? No. But if you can't get to the exam room, and during COVID, we couldn't because we were scared and we didn't want to get sick and make our loved ones sick. So that's when we started really saying, hey, how can we do this? And by the way, cats and dogs are afraid of the vet. So if I can keep them from having to get in the car, why wouldn't I do that?
Well, we got about 30 seconds left. Tell people what the heck Fear-Free Pets is and why it's such a game changer.
Fear-Free Pets, and Fear-Free Happy Homes is really the website that I love the most, educates pet parents and vets about the emotional well-being of dogs and cats. And it considers the whole animal, which is how we should be looking at all of our loved ones, including our pet.
All right. Hey, we've been talking to Dr. Lisa Radosta. I want you to check out flvetbehavior.com, fearfreepets.com, and fearfreehappyhomes.com. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show.
Thanks, Arden. Bye.
All right. Hey, everybody. After the break, we're going to bring up the lead trainer for Fear-Free Pets, and she is Mikkel Becker. So just sit and stay. We got a whole second half of the show to come.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content. Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.